Meet Janet, a hardworking black waitress in one of the city's most elegant restaurants. Her shoes were a little worn, her apron plain, but she carried herself with quiet dignity. To the staff, she was reliable, kind, and deeply respected. She had been serving here for years, pouring her effort into every shift, often unnoticed by customers, but never by those who truly knew her heart. Then came Sophie, a spoiled rich kid with money in her purse and arrogance in her veins. Alongside her equally entitled friends, she swept into the restaurant as if she owned it. Her voice was sharp, her laugh careless, and her belief simple. The world owed her everything. Before we continue, welcome to Voices Unchained. Please like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. We'd love to see how far these stories travel. It didn't take long for Sophie's cruelty to show. Janet approached the table with her practiced warmth. "Good evening, ladies. May I share today's specials with you?" Sophie's eyes flicked down, not to Janet's smile, but to her worn shoes. She laughed. "Look at her. You probably can't even afford anything on this menu." Her friends chuckled, feeding off her arrogance. Janet's smile dimmed only slightly before she asked again, her tone steady. "Ma'am, would you like to hear today's specials?" Sophie waved her hand dismissively. "Specials? Do you even know what fine dining is? I bet you've never eaten here yourself." The table erupted in laughter. Other diners shifted uncomfortably, stealing glances toward the scene. Janet's composure faltered, but she refused to break. "I'll take your orders when you're ready," she said softly. Sophie leaned in with a smirk. "Seriously, how could they let someone like that in a place like this? Look at her hands. She's probably used to scrubbing floors." Her friend added cruelly, "Makes sense. That's all she's good for." Janet swallowed the pain, wrote down their orders, and walked away with her head held as high as she could. When she returned with their meals, Sophie pushed her plate aside. "The food isn't even hot enough. You stupid monkey. Can't you do anything right?" Her friends roared with laughter, delighting in her cruelty. Janet apologized gently, offering to replace the dish. But Sophie leaned back, savoring every second of belittling someone she thought was beneath her. And then, everything shifted. The door opened. A man in a perfectly tailored suit walked in. His presence alone commanded respect. Staff members straightened immediately, greeting him warmly. He walked through the restaurant with calm confidence until he stopped, right at Sophie's table. "Is there a problem here?" he asked, his voice low and firm. Sophie's smirk returned. "Finally, someone with authority. Yes, there's a problem. Your waitress is incompetent, rude, and careless. She's ruining this restaurant. Honestly, you should fire her." The room went silent. Diners held their breath. The man raised an eyebrow and gestured for Janet to step forward. When she did, his tone softened. "Janet, did this guest offend you?" Janet shook her head quickly, trying to protect her job. But Sophie cut in, her arrogance swelling. "Don't defend her. We pay good money to eat here. We don't deserve to be disturbed by someone like that." The man's eyes hardened. He adjusted his jacket, his next words slicing through the silence. "Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Dan. I own this restaurant." A collective gasp spread across the dining room. Sophie's smirk vanished. Dan looked at Janet, his tone steady and warm. "Janet is not just one of my staff. She is one of the most hardworking, dedicated people I've ever known. She has been with me for years, always respectful, always dependable." Then he turned to Sophie, his gaze sharp as glass. "What you've shown here tonight isn't class. It's arrogance, and I will never tolerate arrogance against my employees. You humiliated her, not because she did anything wrong, but because you wanted to feel powerful. That says nothing about her character and everything about yours." Sophie's face burned red. She tried to recover. "You can't do this. Do you know who my father is?" Dan's voice dropped, cold and certain. "I don't care who your father is. Respect is earned, not bought. And if this is how he raised you, then he failed you miserably." The diners murmured in approval. Sophie's friends shifted uncomfortably. "Leave," Dan said firmly. "You and your friends are not welcome in my establishment." Security approached. Sophie tried to protest, but her words died in her throat. She and her friends were escorted out, faces red with humiliation. The room exhaled. Then, slowly, applause rose. Not for Sophie's downfall, but for Janet's dignity being defended. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. It helps us share more powerful stories like this with people everywhere. Janet stood frozen, her eyes brimming with tears, not of sadness, but of relief. She whispered to Dan, "Thank you." Dan shook his head. "You don't need to thank me. You deserve respect, always." From that night on, Janet walked with a new confidence. She knew her worth had been seen, defended, and honored. And for everyone who witnessed it, the message was clear. True class isn't measured by wealth or status, it's measured by how you treat others. So remember this: respect costs nothing, but it means everything.